How do you build a brand, get sales through visibility? I absolutely love this topic. And I'm going to be giving you 3 tips that I do that I have learned through falling on my face over the last 35 years in retail sales that can be transformed and transitioned to any business opportunity, store, physical business, online business. Hey there, I'm Kat Mackin. Yes, I'm all about visibility and getting yourself out there. However, you're also building a brand. So you're also doing sales in the back end. So my job is to get my message across through sharing your voice, your power, because I know there is somebody out there that's going to be listening and they're going to go, man, I just had that aha moment that I didn't know and I needed to hear it today. So let's get straight into it. Your online presence, offline presence, your online presence is your storefront. This is where a lot of people kind of get it wrong, right? I'm going to give you the analogy. I will give you the analogy. If you go to a shopping center and the store is closed and you're like, it's 9 o'clock. It says it's going to be open at 9. You go back at 9:15. I really need those red pair of shoes, right? It's closed. Damn, that really kind of peeves you off, right? Automatically, you're like, okay, I really wanted the red pair of shoes. I need them to go with this outfit. I have an event on tonight. This has really peeved me off. So you go back at 10 o'clock. They're still not open. You're like, what the? Automatically me saying this to you. Don't you think about a time where that's actually happened to me? Or you've gone in and gone, they're not open. So you're like, okay, well, I really love the shoes, ma'am. I'm going to wear the black shoes tonight. But I've got the same event. I've got a different event. Next week, I want to wear the same outfit. I want the red pair of shoes. You go back tomorrow, the store is still not open on time. You go back, they're still not open. What does that do to credibility? Doesn't that say, you know what? Time to go to another store. Time to go somewhere where they are reliable. Now, having managed globally quite a big portfolio, if I ever found out that one of my stores, I'm not in retail anymore, I work online, so my online store, had I found out that one of my stores opened up late, closed early, big no-no. Everybody knew your customers need you to be reliable. That is exactly the same thing with your online persona. Like, if you are selling red cars online and you're talking about your weekend all the time and how you're partying and how you're taking shakes, there's no correlation. It just doesn't make sense. So this is where a lot of people make mistakes. You need to showcase what you do. So visibility creates that know, like, and trust factor before sales. It really is that simple. I'm going to give you another example, which is kind of similar to what I just said. And I'm going to talk about bricks and mortar business because not everybody has an online persona. Like, not everybody's online. However, if you're offline and you're building offline, I do believe that you need to have an online presence. We can talk about that at another time. You go into a store and you're going to that store that says sell red shoes, and all of a sudden they're selling clothes and there's no red shoes, yet it's called the red shoe store. What does that do to your brain? What does that do to your credibility as a store, as a storefront? It says, you know what? I ain't shopping here because I want red pair of shoes. So you're going to go elsewhere. It is the same thing online. People don't also buy, this is tip number 2. People don't also buy from the loudest online. So if you're sitting there online doing this, look at my thing, look at my thing, look at my thing, and you're like flashing your product all over online, no one's going to buy because no one cares. And I still see it today, online, offline. When I go into shopping centers, when I go into stores, and when I scour through online stores, brands, people, and they are flashing their products, I'm like, biggest selling skills, faux pas 101. You just don't do that. And I'm going to say the same thing over and over again. People don't buy from those that are flashing their products and saying, please buy from me. People don't care. People only buy because of how it's made them feel. People only buy from what it's going to do for them. So for example, I help you become visible online. That is part of my brand. I teach you how to do that. From becoming visible, you can then transition into sales. Why? Because visibility, if you're not visible, then you are the world's best kept secret. However, it's how you project yourself online that makes a difference. Because you can be visible and not be doing anything. And there's that inconsistency where people go, what does she do? What is she selling? Where is she going? She has a red shoe store online, yet she keeps on talking about the white handbag. So I'm talking about spamming too. Quite obvious. So just don't do this. No one cares. In fact, they're going to flick. People have the concentration span today of like literally 3 seconds. If they don't know what you do, if your online, offline persona doesn't match, people will not trust you. No one's going to buy from you straight off one post. Point number 3. Oh my God, Kat, I posted 5 times in the last month. How do I build my brand? How do I make sales? I had a coach recently that asked me this question. I helped her. And she said, you know what? I'm actually a blah, blah coach. And I'm like, cool. Okay, let's go in and look at how you're posting, what you're doing, what you're saying. And there was an absolute mismatch. If you are a coach that helps people with menopause, helps women with menopause, then you should be walking the talk, talking about menopause, showing them what they can do from your experience, how you can help them. The 3 tips to losing belly fat from your chair. There you go. I just gave you a tip. From your chair. How? From your chair, really? How do I do that? Okay, well, you can do simple. These kind of exercises by sitting down, by pushing your legs time. Your bio says, I'm a menopause coach. They're going to be like, what? How does this even work? Now you can talk, you can mix both together, lifestyle, but at some point you need to talk about what you do if you're building your brand online. And you need to be consistent. There's that word again, right? Oh my God, consistent. Oh my God. Oh my God. You got to walk the talk. You're not going to have a sale off the first post that you do. And if you do, you are darn lucky, because generally that doesn't happen. There needs to be touch points. People need to see what you do. And there's so many vehicles of being visible, which is why people go, how do I do it? Yeah, online's one. Podcasting is another. Getting on media is another. Have you ever thought about getting on a television show, on print media, in a book? So there's a couple of tips as to how visibility will eventually lead to sales. It's not the other way around. The other way around, if you're thinking the other way, you're going to be falling straight on your face. I hope this has helped. Please subscribe, because you know what? Visibility is a vehicle to produce the outcome that you want, which really ultimately is establishing your customers' needs, because you have something that somebody else wants because it's your area of expertise, because you've lived it, you've done it. And if you're not walking the talk, nobody's going to know you. It really is that simple. Bye for now.